are Novus Technologies. We're based in Coralville, Iowa. We design and manufacture industrial heat exchange fouling prevention equipment. So we design the controls technology that runs it, and then the heavy steel that it really comprises it. Inefficiency or fouling in heat exchangers, that's a part of every one of our lives. It's the cost of our fuel, it translates the cost of our electricity, air conditioning, any product you buy, it's all there. And it's a very fixable problem, and the cost of energy has gotten to the point now, especially electricity, where the companies in America are really interested, or the world are really interested in eliminating that expense. So the market value of it is in excess of $40 billion in the United States alone. Globally, we haven't captured the full number, but it's profound.
My background is in chemical engineering and capital project management, and so that really helps when it comes to dealing with enterprise level customers in power, oil and gas, those kinds of markets. This product really meets the current, I say, socio-economic trends. So we see rising power costs in the nation. We see an increasing focus on sustainability and sustainable processes. And our products and technologies really fit nicely into those trends.
Business plan is a roadmap, so to speak, but you have to be willing to, as information changes, as the world around you changes, you have to have the flexibility to change directions at times. So what the business plan does in our mind is it first helps us really think about the issues that are realistic about building a business and put those down on paper and discuss them. But then it also, more importantly, really is a forcing function to help us learn how to ask the right questions. We don't know all the textbook answers, but it teaches us how to ask the right questions, and I think that's the real value of business planning. It's the challenge of building something that doesn't currently exist. And it's an encouraging thing to me personally, I know it is to Mike, that we can influence the future constructively and add opportunity not only for ourselves, but create something. And I think that's one of the reasons for entrepreneurism is to, it gives us the hope that we're capable of creating something out of nothing.
FanStream is a sports technology company. We partner primarily with sports teams and entertainment venues to leverage data to create sustainable and revenue-generating relationships with their customers. The original idea for the business actually started at a Startup Weekend event in March of 2014. At least in terms of identifying the problem that we want to solve. Over the course of the summer of 2014, it kind of evolved into the real problem to solve was the data perspective in terms of our customers weren't collecting enough data to grow revenue. And so in terms of looking at that, we identified a real need in terms of creating a group platform that actually helped organize groups that go to sporting events, taking it from an analog to a digital process, and also giving the teams the ability to upsell non-seed assets to grow revenue. And kind of a byproduct of doing that platform is instead of the teams collecting data on one person in a group, they now can collect data on everybody in that. So not only are we applying a richer customer experience, we're also providing data that they can use to turn casual fans into repeat customers. Right now we're going after the 620 minor and amateur league sports teams in the US. Roughly 43% of their seats go unsold. And if you dig a little bit deeper into that, you find that they collect data on only about 11% of the people who use a ticket. So this group platform helps them collect more data on more people so they can grow revenue and sell more stuff. As a sole founder, it's easy to get lost into doing the business as opposed to planning the business, and so this is a force to kind of stop and do that and really focus on that to make sure the financial model is solid. We've had some really good early success, so keeping that momentum going and building up, and really, especially with our target market, really owning that market and taking after it. But obviously the goal is to have our platform in every sports stadium in the country and the world. And in terms of changing the way groups are formed and also changing the way those teams are growing revenue through data.
Mortagen is a company that enhances personalized medicine for oncology patients.
What personalized medicine means is we take the genetic profile of every single patient's tumor. We identify the abnormalities, which are called mutations, and then we use that information to identify the best treatment for each individual patient. The co-founders of Mortagen are colleagues at the University of Iowa, and we really developed this from the ground up based on our research discoveries But we realized that we could only go so far in academic medicine, and if we truly wanted to impact how our patients are treated, we had to commercialize our academic discoveries.
It is extraordinarily important that we work with payers, companies, and physicians to bring this technology to market as quickly as we can. So by using the Pappajohn Competition Award, we are able to get a leg up on the entire startup process by being able to address those key critical success factors that an early stage company must address. Things like intellectual property, key employees, and of course having a presence at industry conferences.
So I'm sure almost everyone heard about Jimmy Carter's diagnosis of cancer. It had already metastasized in multiple places. He's receiving these really experimental therapies. I think every single cancer patient should have that. And that is how I see the future of cancer treatment, and I think that's how Immortagen is going to come in and shake up the way cancer treatment has been done by the book for the last several decades.
We really are dealing with things that can change lives. We can address cancers that have had, frankly, fairly grim prognosis in the past and do things to help the patients move forward with their lives. And we feel that if we're successful, we're going to be able to help many, many people. Being part of the Pappajohn Business Competition here in Iowa gives us an opportunity to work with the many resources in the state. The state has been overwhelmingly helpful to us in a variety of ways. The universities, the investment community, and certainly the partnering opportunities with the state. And so as a result of that, it has been beneficial to us to be exposed to the Pappajohn competition as well, because we feel very comfortable being an Iowa-based startup.